So we're talking about wavelengths because I think what I found, this blue light or on the surface, it could be that I'm mistaken, but if it was a different wavelength, these objects, we'd have trouble seeing them. So the wavelength of the color purple, we're talking about violet, first of all. Okay, violet, it's a spectral color. It occupies its own place at the end of the spectrum of the light. First identified by Isaac Newton in 1672, and it has its own wavelength. It's approximately 380 nanometers to 420 nanometers, whereas purple is a combination of two spectral colors, red and blue. Another thing we can see and tell by this processing, the heat distribution is different around these purple objects. Now, of course, if there's an elevated terrain, as we see here, what looks like in the lower region of the blue, violet, or purple, the temperatures would change a little bit as the winds would catch the mountains and then drift over the mountains. And this, all this wind and interacting with the mountains, of course, changes the temperatures in certain areas. And it's why here on Earth, I mean, we have cold areas and we have areas that are always warm. You have to wonder. But you could see that the way they structure the objects, or how they place these objects, they sort of look like like a carpet, right? It's sort of sitting laid over on the surface, and you don't see these until you get in and until you add color and natural color, of course, and by enhancing it, it's there. The color is drastic, trust me, and it's as purple as this. This isn't saturated. I'd like to take it down. I actually did try to. It turns to gray. It's very, very intensely vibrant, the colors on the surface of the moon in many of these areas. And at times, without ruling anything out, you wonder if it's not even a glass dome sitting over top of a city. It's a little complicated, but not that complicated. Wavelengths, people's like, oh, I'm not getting into that. It's not that complicated. It's just as simple as that. Visible light, it has a wavelength range, and we can see it. It's about 400 nanometers to 750 nanometers. The visible colors from shortest to longest wavelengths are violet, indigo, blue, cyan, green, yellow, orange, and red being the longest. The complexity. Imagine them trying to hide, the surface from us. I mean, they know so much. If they are a higher being, for sure, if they're a more intelligent race, yeah. I mean, do you imagine what they know about photophysics, photochemistry? Oh my gosh, you don't want to look that up if you don't want to get tracked off away from moon research. But the absorption of light. I can't even believe I'm looking this up, but it's true. I'm looking at ultraviolet rays. I'm looking at different wavelengths. Our eyes have 3 colors of cone cells in them that pick up actual color. But again, we do have an array of spectral colors that we can see either way, both short and long wavelengths. So you go to the red, hot, warmer wavelengths that are longer, and the shorter wavelengths, like violet color, that are shorter wavelengths. It's understanding that sometimes on the surface of the moon there are objects that we're not going to see properly, and I'm not talking about blurry objects. I'm talking about sort of a black smudge that oscillates on the surface that we're not being able to pick it up. It's the cone cells in our eyes are always moving to try to distinguish what it's seeing. Take an example. If you want to see what your cone cells are, if you want to witness your own cone cells interacting with light, go outside on a bright day. Don't stare at the sun to go blind, but look up to the light near the sun, and when you do, you'll see some tingling little star-like objects, and that's actually your cone cells that are trying to adjust the image. Different elements, different physical material will absorb light differently. This is a tunnel on the north side, or a chimney stack-like object. When we say, oh, it's a chimney stack, doesn't mean it's a chimney stack. It could be a tunnel, an entrance, a monolithic object. statue. I mean, oh, what is this? This is Copernicus, le cratère Copernicus. Alors, on voit à l'intérieur que... I'm not going to say it. Copernicus! Inside. Check it out, guys. Inside of the dark. There's a little light on the right side. I've been meaning to do this for a long time. And look at the center there. I'll get a star up on it. Look at the plaque-like, platform-like square at the end here with a little tunnel leading off to the end. Inside, what we never see is, in the darkness, this round-edged, symmetrical, straight-edged, platform-like straight surface, basically. You know, it's in the dark, so we're seeing everything gray. We're seeing two light sources, a major light source on the bottom in the dark, and a small one up here. Very mysterious crater, I guarantee it. Now look at the ledge, what I claim to be a ledge right here, a drop. I'll get a star up right there. You can see the symmetrical line. It's ridiculous. Could be natural, yeah, okay. But either way, again, something never mentioned inside of Copernicus crater is that ledge. And I believe there is a drop, and underneath you can see a symmetrical outlining that's going around, whether it be mountains or not. It's just fun to see an area that we don't usually see inside of this very common crater, a crater talked about a lot. How about Bianchini crater? This is about 40 miles from it, just east. Bianchini is just at the end of the photo here. These are platform-like structures that I thought were structures or buildings. Well, they are structures, but I was thinking they were the buildings. They could be also buildings, but on top of them, there are little smaller structures. Look closely. Yes, very hard to see. There's a cloud or haze, of course, over top of the surface, but it doesn't matter. We're getting in a lot closer. But understanding how close we are, this is the thing. People are like, wow, we can hardly see anything. Zoom in. No, Bianchini crater to the left is the size of the whole screen basically right now. So this is pretty much as close with this photo we can get. Yeah, X-ray. Look at what we're looking at. See all the platform-like surfaces? They would be pretty wide, a couple miles wide, and I imagine they would not be on beams. They would be literal mountains, right? But amongst that, on top of it, you could see the structures or objects, and you know what? Yeah, they're symmetrical. I'm showing it to you like this again. This is... the photo's lied down, by the way. I'm not going to hide it. The photo, I lie it down. The top, take the top downwards so you could see a surface view. Many other channels are doing this too. So now look at the surface. And now, here's one of the closest shots, I believe, is the closest shot of the moon's surface of any structure. And this clear. Seen publicly anyways. I'm very happy of this and proud of this photo. It's Bianchini crater to the left, guys, in the darkness. And look at the beautiful, beautiful way the surface is all connected. And the smaller structures, you're looking at them right now. These smaller structures are one of the smallest ones I've ever seen on the surface. And I imagine if you want to see a shed or a flag, well, you'll have to zoom up in this area. That's the real surface of the moon, so along me. Zoomed out a little further here, Bianchini crater, top left. See the purple structures again? I got to it. Finally, at the beginning of the video, we saw another violet, either violet or purple or blue, structuring, sort of cloud or water or, right? We don't know what it is, but either way, I think it's objects, and whether the objects be in water or not, that's besides the point. Look what we're looking at. Look at the lines going up and down right here in the center there. A complex setup. This is a very nice view, by the way, guys, to be able to see it this close. I assure you, I am positive. This is so close. This is right on the surface. You could see Bianchini crater is actually even higher than the ones we're looking at right now. We're looking into a hole, a descending level. 10,000 feet of descending and ascending levels on the surface of the moon. NASA declared that just less than a year ago. Dennis Delano, bro, I love you, man. Thanks for the generous contributions. Bro, thanks for the comments, okay? Thanks for the support, for subbing, for being there, man. And many of you, like Dennis, you know, have connected with me. Talk every day. I'm getting really close to some of you and most all of you online, and I really appreciate this, guys. This truth really has to get out there. And as slow as it's going, I'm very, very proud to say that there is over 13,000 people here that I've at least been able to reach and to share at least one video with you guys, just to open your minds, to see what's possibly out there. Thanks so much. I appreciate it. Tonight I'm going to try and get some stars. Hey, it is freezing here. Got over 20 centimeters last week. This week, actually. It was pretty incredible, and everything froze up. I can hear the roof cracking once again. I hope this is the end. I just want to get past the 1st of April. Everyone, thanks for connecting. I'm going to get 2 more videos up today if I can. Thanks.